Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our YouTube channel, ready for afternoon market action and hashtag Western Wednesday VV. Had a different shirt on today, but it had too much green in it. Wouldn't fit well with the green screen, so I had to put on my VectorVest. But a VectorVest shirt, but I still got my bolo, still got my cowboy hat. So, welcome. If you can hear me, by all means, please respond in the affirmative, preferably with VV Nation, to let me know that I am coming across loud and clear today. I've got an interesting day. It's just about at 2 o'clock. I need to see what the Fed minutes are going to say. I'm going to go out to CNBC and see if we can pick up something. Let's go out to the web. Let's go see if the minutes came out. Just want to see. The minutes are going to say, in my estimation, that the Fed is going to be hawkish. That's what I'm thinking what the minutes are going to say. It's going to say that it's going to be hawkish. Looks like I got the people coming in, letting me know that they hear me, which is awesome. And Boston is here. Thank you for being here, Boston, along with Joey. VV Nation says, howdy, Glenn. Thank you, John. I appreciate that. So I'm just trying to see if there's any inclination of something from the minutes that just came out. Let's go to Yahoo. See if there's anything there. No breaking news about the minutes. Stock edge higher after sharp sell-off, blah, 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 blah. With Fed minutes on tap. Let's go see vesting.com. Our pro, nah, that's not going to focus on the Fed minutes. Sigh. Unless anybody's got, Glenn, please show us your boots. You really want me to go? Yeah. Here's my boots. Oh, come on. There they are. There's my cowboy boots. My black jeans. Cowboy boots. Wow. I'm not a contortionist thingy. Holy smokes. That took a lot of time. That took a lot out of me in order to do that. S&P is falling, which means that out then, whatever the Fed said, people don't like it, which is what I anticipated what would happen. Let's go back to CNBC. First time caller, hey, VV Glenn. Hey, One Up Aerial Drone Services, welcome. Thank you for being here. W. Phillips says, those are awesome. The Dow is diving. All right, there we go. Fed minutes show, let's go. There we go. Fed minutes show members resolved to keep fighting inflation. In the minutes, at their most recent meeting indicated that there are signs of inflation is coming down, but we know that. But this is the key part. But not enough to counter the need for more interest rates. Meeting minutes released Wednesday showed. So when I've been saying over and over in the current market's conditions that we've got the irrational exuberance, folks, there's nothing that's out there to help this market to keep going higher. All right, let's see. We got 246 people. Let's get more people in the room. Get me 54 more people. 54 more people. Let's get 300 people in the room. Folks, share this because this is what people need to know. All right, this is what people need to know right this. Fireblazer says, you are in shape, Glenn, because round is a shape. Joey redid this, so let's go see. Hold on. What do you get? You get the crickets. You give the crickets. All right, so there we go. Sharp. Thank you very much, Cecilia. I appreciate that. I didn't take my hat off. I just wanted to start it off with the hat. Inflation remained well above the Fed's 2% target. Minutes said that came with labor markets that remain very tight, contributing and continuing upward pressure on wages and prices. So prices go up, people are going to need to pay more for goods. I got a story about that and how that's going to be the downfall of a lot of different businesses in a moment. But the upward pressure on wages, in order for people to keep people working, they're going to have to pay them more money. But even in paying them more money and the wage increases across the board are going on, are the wage increases keeping up with inflation? And the biggest part of why the Fed needs to keep raising interest rates, even though it's going to hurt the economy, is because what if they stop raising the interest rates? What if they paused and inflation goes back up again because people have money to spend, because the wages are going up, and they're willing to pay more money on goods and services, and they're willing to put this all on their credit card to defer it to a later date. Boom, inflation goes back up again. They don't want to be caught out there again after talking that inflation was transitory. All right, so it's going up now. Mark says, not just sharp, Glenn is G-sharp. That's my DJ name. 25 basis points announced. Man, I was looking forward to, there it is. Consequently, the Fed approved 25 basis points increase. That was the smallest rate since the 1st of March 22, taking the Fed's fund rate to 4.5 to 4 3/4. But the minutes stated that the reduced pace came with a high level of concern that inflation was still under threat. So wait a minute. You're saying right here that Kevin says 25 basis points announced. I'm looking. Since the meeting, blah, 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 blah. The participants favoring a 50 basis point increase noted that a larger increase would more quickly bring the target range close in the levels that they believe, blah, 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 blah. So Kevin, I'm still looking. The consumer price index rose a 0.5%. The labor market is hot. Kevin, I'm not seeing where it says that quarter basis points. I'm not seeing where it says that. Oscar says Glenn is wearing a hat and boots because in the bottom of his heart he's a Cowboy fan. Oh, heck no. Oh, where's that? Oh, heck no. You know I'm a Giant fan, Oscar. You know I'm a Giant fan. All right, Kevin says it's on CNBC. I'm on CNBC looking at the breaking minutes, the breaking news on the minutes, man. I'm looking at it. So in here, I don't see it here, and it could be someplace else. I don't see it here that they're announcing a 25. Let's go back to CNBC. Resolved to keep blah, 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 blah. I haven't seen it yet, Kevin. I'll keep my eyes on it. I hadn't seen it yet, but in the minutes that I was just reading, I didn't see that. Glenn says, I thought you were a Patriots fan. Oh, heck no to that too. Oh, yeah. I tried to create inflation, but my wife only won. Oh, Lord, Fireblazer, stop. I think today people have much more equity in homes than we had in 2008. It's going to be more difficult to keep inflation low with people still spending. And we don't have high unemployment. And again, therein lies that statement right there that John just put up there is the reason why the Fed is still raising interest rates, which is not good for the economy. All right, which is not right for the economy. Lee says that was 25 basis points for last month. Yes, and I did see that, Lee, in here, but I'm not seeing where the Fed is saying, Kevin, that two members wanted 50, and I'm for the 50 basis points. Listen, you know something? If he gets to 50 basis points raised next month, he'll be at his target rate. And then at that time, you know what he's going to do? Anybody want to add to that? Once we get to the target rate of 5%, that's what he wanted. What is he going to do? Anybody? I'm getting ready to tell you what he's going to do. Anybody want to venture an answer as to what he will do after that? Anybody? All right, raise again, but why? He's going to increase again, but why? Because he's going to raise the target rate probably to 6 to 7%. Now, Lower Costa says pause. I don't think so because, and Sonny says take a break as well. I don't think so. Even at the target rate of 5, and I know that it's a lagging indicator. Once he gets to that target rate, I think that he's going to announce that they're going to move the target rate from 5 to 6%. Does anybody, all right, now let's see where your head's at. Does anybody agree with that? Type of 1. If you don't agree with that and you think he'll pause, type of 2. All right. Do you think that after he gets there, that he's going to go up to 6%, type of 1? If you don't think he's going to do that, type of 2. Mark says no. Lower Costa says no. All right. Again, this is a no judgment zone. This is no judge. Nobody's answer is wrong. I wanted to see where your heads are at. Fireblazer, stop spamming it. All right. Alton says 3. Well, let's think about it. There was only 1 or 2. Only 2 choices. 3 doesn't make it. 1 and the market will fall further. So what I'm saying in regards to this is, as the Fed continues to raise rates, it's not good for the economy. The economy is going to have a lot more downside pressure going into the rest of the year. All right. Would he do that? Do that in an election year coming up? He wins the election next year, not this year. So he can do all of that this year. It's not going to be until next year for the election. So, and I don't even know if that's going to have a big toll of what he does. Supply side improving could help without interest rate rises. The supply side is improving, but is inflation coming down to the point where he can stop? And this is for you, Mark. Is inflation coming down to a point where, can you have a rising economy and falling inflation? A rising economy normally spurs on inflation, right, Mark? So technically, could we have, even on the supply side, rising economy and not have rising inflation? Therein lies the problem. Michael says, doesn't matter. Rates still have not hit earnings. Earnings move markets. And you know something? That's one of the three major movers of any market across the world. Earnings, interest, and inflation. And to a certain degree, Michael, it is affecting earnings, but not to the degree that the Fed would like to see. In a real jacked up economy, companies are going to start missing earnings by leaps and bounds. That's not altogether happening. So, Michael, I'm right on board with you in regards to what you just said. When is the next CPI report? Jay is not here. Jay put that out. All of the CPI numbers in the Fed talks. It's going to be in March. I just don't know when. All of those will be happening again in March, Oscar, around about the first to second week of March. All right. So with all of that, I wanted to see how the market was reacting. We're here. Let's go see. And there's the market. All right. There's the market. And I posted on the socials this morning that our VectorVest composite had fallen right to a level of support. And I was wondering if that level of support was going to hold on. Our composite is I bit my tongue. Ooh, $57.16. Look at where the wick of today's candle is. Right at that level of support. Open bar today, a little bit of a spinning top. The 3 is currently still below the 8. And with today's activity, let's go move this from end of day to intraday, 1 minute bars current day. Here's the report that came out. The minutes came out at 2, right? The minutes came out at 2. What was this time right here? That was 2:02. Let's go back. There's the report time right there at 2. And that's where we were at 2. And this is where we are now after the Fed minutes came out. All right, this is intraday 1 minute bars. Mentions of recession on earnings call, entering recession. I think we've already been in a recession. I'm going to go with the traditional way of looking at a recession with GDP down for 2 quarters. So I'm going to be on that in this particular point in time. Lower cost, it says, cannot afford interest rates on debt at 0. GDP debt ratio now at a reset time. And you know, I'm of the mindset, and I've been saying this, if this is my conspiracy theory mind talking or not, I think we're setting up for a global financial reset, because every country, every economy is in the same spot of printing money to overcome all of their debt. At some point in time, do we have a global economic reset? And I don't know what that looks like. I don't know what it looks like, but are we down for that? I don't know. All right, I bought protective put this morning. I'm in a couple of contras right now. I'm still holding a couple of stocks long, but now I'm in 2 or 3 contras right now. Dow just went negative. Thank you, Richard. Dan says, from the surge in consumer borrowing and delinquency rates over the past year, guess what? A lot more people. I did a story yesterday on people missing out on their car loans. People are going to be missing out on their credit card loans. People are going to defaulting on home loans. Man, I think, without trying to sound like I'm bringing the doom and gloom, I'm not trying to do that. I want you guys to be informed and let you know what's going on. All of these things, look like they're going to happen. But you guys as investors in the market need to be on the right side of the market, and that's what we're going to do. The VVC is all over the place for the last 10 minutes. Is that because of the FOMC meeting? The FOMC minutes? Yes, Corey. And that's exactly. Here's 2 o'clock when the minutes came out, and this is the bounce all over the place. You're right. Up and down, up and down, up and down. Let's go put this back onto a 1-month graph. There it is. There's our doji going on for the day. Even going into today, big down day yesterday, we're still at a level of support. I want to see if we can hold on to that level of support. Time to buy some puts, Glenn. At least coming off of this high on February 2nd, market's been trending lower. Absolutely. All right, absolutely. And the next question is going to be, how do you know when to take those puts off? Well, if this is the trend, the downtrend of the market since February 2nd, how do you know when to take the puts off? When we go back and break above this downtrend. All right, that would be my answer. Here's the downtrend from February 2nd. All right, we're still below that trend line. And if you put puts on and you're saying, all right, how long do I hold them? You hold them until they break above. Once we break above this trend line, then I would take them off. Does that make sense to everybody in the room? Type of 1. If it doesn't make sense, type of 2. All right, if you're going to go into protective mode right now, whether you're selling covered calls, whether you're buying protective puts, or whether you're buying contras, how long do you hold on to them, to any of those things? You hold on to them until the market gets out of this downtrend that it's in from the high of February 2nd, folks. That's my easiest answer. And why do I say until it breaks above? How about here? We had, excuse me, we had a little bit of a run. What did we do? We hit a lower high. Boom, kept us in. Now that I've got a defined trend line, I'm going to say whatever protection you put on, you keep them on until we break above that trend line from February 2nd. All right, so everybody in the room should have answered that question. But if you didn't, then I'm going to assume that you already knew that. And if you didn't, and you didn't understand, that was your time to type a 2. All right, so that's the market. Now, let's get into what stocks I got moving by way of news. Let's go check that out real quick. That's not what I'm looking for. Here it is. Prior to the minutes coming out, the Fed minutes to detail debate over the end game for rate hikes. I think that the market is, that the Fed's going to continue raising rates, whether it's a quarter point or a half a basis point. I think he needs to get to his target rate of 5. If he does that with a half, and even at a quarter basis point, he'll still get there. But I think right after that, he's going to make an announcement that they're going to raise that rate from 5 to 6. I really think that that's what's going to happen. I really, really, really think that's going to happen. Alberto says, where can I buy contras? Through your broker. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to give you 5 contras to keep your eyes on, more aggressive contras. I'm going to give you 5 aggressive contras to take a look at. Fed bullards, sharp tightening of policy still needed to tame inflation. So I think that for the most part, whether it's the Fed chairman himself or the Fed chiefs, they're still on the more hawkish route. If they show half a point, we will revisit the October lows. I think whether it's a quarter point or a half a point, there's nothing that tells us any good news to push the market higher at this point. All right, let's talk about other news. Gas prices poised to rise again as sanctions on Russia take effect. What are we doing to overcome this? We're throwing a lot of our strategic oil back out into the market to keep the prices artificially low on oil. It's going to kill us. It's going to hurt us, folks. God forbid we need that oil. We ain't going to have it. Home sales. Home sales fall for the 12th straight month. So somebody put in here that the housing market is different back then than it is now. But I'm saying that from a disposable income perspective, folks, people aren't buying homes. They're not buying homes because they don't have the usable cash to do that because interest rates are high, mortgage rates are high. So watch that. I think that that's a good sign of what's going on in the economy. Talking about the economy, let's bounce over to AI stocks. C3 AI expands the AWS collaboration. They were already with Amazon, but they're getting broader into it because AI is taking off. Good, googly muggly. AI is a hot space, especially because of Chat GPT. All right, so GPT. All right, so that's on a stock that was rocking and rolling. It's gotten busted down a lot because a lot of people made a lot of money on AI. A lot of money, ticker symbol AI. And then they took the profits. I still think that the space is hot though. The inventory for homes is very low, and the homes on the market now, they can list for whatever they want, but there are no bids on these high prices. I have seen this movie before. So why are there no bids? So why do you keep the inventory of the houses low? Because the government releases how many homes that are out there on the market. Why do they keep them low? Because they can get more money in a time where people are strapped. Their people are strapped overall. But if you have to buy them at higher prices, then hopefully if you go to resell them, that should raise the prices of the houses as well for people to, when they go to resale. All right, so I'm with you. Existing home sales crashed 37% year over year from last year. Again, goes right in line with what we were talking about. Is coal still good? Yes, but oil is up today. I just saw it, natural gas is on the move today. But overall, I think coal is the better play overall because I think we've still had unseasonably warm winter this year so far. Hey, Francisco. All right, so what else is going on? Domino's. So this is, remember I told you I was going to talk about a company who was raising prices but was feeling the ill effects? Domino plunges most on record as customers shun price hikes. Now, who else has raised prices but have benefited from it? That would be Tesla. All right. But, as inflation kicks in, even though it's getting better, as interest rates rise, companies have to pass on the cost of business to their customers. Domino's raises prices on their goods, on their pieces, and people are going, I'm not out of here. I'm out of here. I'm not ready to eat that pizza. You know what I'm saying right there? So I just ran a quick test on my casinos list year to date, 26%. That's not a bad play as the country's starting to open back up. All right, people want to get out of the house, and that was good for travel stocks. But now, even with the travel stocks, that's backed off a lot because airplanes can't keep up with schedules. All right, and now when it comes down to the casino list, though, your casino list, if people are not ready or really have the money to go to the casinos, what do you think is going to happen to your casino list, Roger? Just putting that out there. All right. NIO is back in the news, and they're going after a company, Boyd, BB, who is it? Yeah, BYDDF. So there's a company, this company that sells cars in China in the mid ranges, about $32,000, electric cars. So NIO is going after that. NIO is building a plant that would export mid-market electric cars to Europe, not to China, sorry, to Europe. The company that's already doing that right now is BYDDF. Now occupies this space in China, selling $32,000 cars with less range and fewer electronics, but enough quality to satisfy the middle-class customer. Berkshire Hathaway Vice Chair Charlie Munger calls BYD's lead over Tesla in this area because they're selling the mid-range cars. NIO is entering into that market. If NIO can replicate BYD's success in Europe, it would transform the market. So this could be good breaking news for the NIO customers out there. So I wanted to bring that to your attention. Keep your eyes on NIO. They're making headlines by trying to get their own niche in Europe by selling the mid-level cars. A lot of people don't want to buy electric cars because they're so expensive. If you've got companies, Tesla's already tried to go after that market. And if NIO could do that in Europe, that could be a major mover for NIO. I want you to keep your eyes on that stock. Nvidia. Profit target raised to 246 at Morgan Stanley. Blah, 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 blah. All right. We need new batteries literally everywhere. All right. I got another story behind that. This comes from our VectorVest blogs going down the hot stocks. Nvidia earnings will disappoint. ChatGPT has investors and analysts excited. Nvidia is expected to report its fiscal fourth quarter earnings on Wednesday, which is today. And the consensus is that the company is going to disappoint once again. However, there is one thing that has experts and investors excited, and it comes to Nvidia AI. So one story, Morgan Stanley raises the profit target, and there's reasons why. The Fly reports the firm currently has an equal weight rating on the computer hardware makers stock. Several other equities analysts also recently issued reports on the stock. HSBC started coverage. They set to redo blah, 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 blah. All these other people, blah, 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 blah. This tells me all I need to know. If the earnings are going to be down, that's going to pull the stock's price down, but the AI could help push it up. Since they put a casino in Boston, I now see billboards to help for gambling addiction. Great job, Win. All right. They have to get their rent money at the casino. Again, casinos are starting to run. Casinos are starting to run. Just be careful with that, all right? If the people ain't got no money, how long is that run on the casinos going to be? All right. Now that I got all of that, let's get back into the software. Dang. Let's get back into the software. Let's go look at my viewers. Here's all of the major indices. Back and forth today. The VectorVest Composite is up about 0.2%. The VIX is down, still above the value of 20, which is going to still show us that we're going to be in for those big swing days. All right, RT, what's moving? VIX, as well as the Russell 2000. Russell 2000, people were jumping on Russell 2000 today prior to the minutes. People were willing to take riskier plays on the IWM, but it's coming off of its session highs today as well. The Dow is down, and that's the only major index that's down. But all of the major indices are coming in back into neutral right now. I'm going to call LGB and ask him for some cash since he's giving out billions of your money. No. All right. Making your own pizza, says Fitz. All right. Let's get to look at my big stories today. Here's the stocks. Let's take a look. There's Nvidia. There's AI matching up with Amazon. All right. Intel. There was a story on Intel. Intel cut their dividends. Intel cut their dividend. That's going to affect them adversely. And the NIO story going after a niche market of mid-size, well, not mid-size, but mid-price cars in Europe. That may be a definite spark for NIO. Even though it's way overvalued and fundamentally not sound, an RT below 1 NSL recommendation, this could be news that they could need to push the stock's price higher. But if that happens, understand that it's not a fundamentally sound stock, that it is a speculative play. It is a speculative play. Domino's Pizza is feeling a little bit of the effect by raising the prices. I'm going to let you know here that if more and more companies go down the path of passing on the raising of the cost of doing business, it's going to affect their companies adversely. Domino's is showing that right here, right now. All right, so those are the news on the stories. Two of the stocks are sells. That's Intel and NIO. NIO is definitely a speculative play. I like the news behind it. We'll see what happens with it. All right, Contra ETFs. Contras. I'm going to give you 5 really good Contras to keep your eyes on. Only one of them is going up today on a day that's a mixed day. SOX S is up about 0.2%. All of the other ones are down. Here's on the Russell, the Qs, the semiconductors, and the FANG-D stocks. These are my top 5 that I'm going to give to you. 4 out of the 5 are optionable if you don't want to go in full price on these. 4 out of the 5 are optionable. All right. Really, Mark says it's called responsible gambling. Casinos are pretty much required to advertise to help line in every jurisdiction. You know, you do see that everywhere that there's a casino. There's the commercials on the radio in that area, and there's the billboards that say, if you have a problem gambling, please give us a call. All right, please give us a call. I think for what Mark is saying, I think that it's a legal responsibility, especially if they're making gobs and gobs of money off of the people losing money in the casinos. Hey, do you have a problem? Call this number. Hi, my name is Glenn. I have a problem gambling. Well, hi, Glenn. Thank you for calling. Well, you need to sit there. I don't want to hear that after I done lost $11,000 million. I ain't trying to ask. I ain't because I asked her to read, so I'm just thinking about that. All right, but here's 5 contras that I do want to keep your eyes on. Time them. On a day like today, still seeing that one of them is going up. That might give you some heads up as well as what to start to play now. Hot stocks. I do have some hot stocks for you. Not a lot. I've only got 2, and both of them are in shipping. I've got 2 hot stocks. Both of them are in shipping. Let's go put this on a 1-month graph using the 3 and the 8. If I am looking, look at that. If I am looking for something to go against a market that's being turbulent, I like DSX, bottom left, top right. A lot of give back today. Well, that's right in tune with the market's direction, right? Market had a lot of downward force today. Big wick at the top of this candle today. That is, 80% of the stocks in the market move with the market's direction. If the market's moving in that direction, even a stock that on a 1-month basis looks good is going to feel the effects of that. So that's a shipping stock. Whereas Star Safe Bulkers, very little wick at the top. Coming into this channel, I'd like to see it break above that level of resistance. Bottom left, still top right, even though it's got a little bit of consolidation. Much smaller wick at the top of the candle than as on DSX. All right, Mark says, I did call the helpline for gambling problem 1. I was dealt a 16 and the dealer had 2. Wow. I don't even have the laugh button anymore. We got to get us a new laugh button, but I'll do this one. That's the cash register. I got to get a laugh button back. We'll work on that. Roger says, when I worked at Harris, I sold a woman $5,000 in quarters. She was playing Keno with a max payout of $500. I got yelled at by management. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Because I asked her to rethink her choice. Oh boy. All right. So those are the only 2 hot stocks I have for you in the current markets conditions. I got some fundamental stocks for you the longer term. I do have 4 fundamental stocks for you to keep your eyes on. These are my swing trades. Put these on a 3-month graph. These are my swing trades for you. And before anybody asks me the question, well, should I buy them now? My answer to that question is, do you feel comfortable buying them now if the market's going down? I can show you the graph over the last 3 months, definitely moving higher. The 3 and the 8 are solid. The volume is there, the whole 9 yards. To answer your question, is the market's direction conducive to buying the stocks now? And if the answer is yes, the answer would be more yes for me if I could see it break through that level of the high. But I'm going to go back to the other statement. 80% of the stocks in the market move with the major direction of the market. If the market continues to move down, no matter how good a stock is, it's going to feel the effects of that. So that's how I'm going to answer the question when it comes down to should I buy this now. I like AZPN, broke through 2 levels of resistance. The 3 and the 8 look good. Not a lot of wick at the top of the candle today. RT is above 1. All right. AZO. I'd be careful with this one because it's retracing from a level of resistance. I still liked it because it was coming off a session of a low. The 3 and the 8 were solid, but with today's activity, watch the 3 and the 8. And if it does fall, how far should it go? At least to this level of support of 24.97.31. I wouldn't tell you to buy it today. All right. ACGL, look at that. Insurance, property, casualty. Definitely bottom left, top right. I'd like to see it take out the high though. All right, so those are my fundamental, and look at these. The fundamentals of these stocks, relative value, relative safety are all good. Relative timings, they're all in uptrends and they're all buys. From a swing trade perspective, I like these. But if the market's conditions are starting to show a major pullback in the market, I wouldn't buy any of these right now. Does everybody in the room understand what I just said? Yes or no? Does everybody in the room understand what I just said? Yes or no? Because I don't want to hear later, well, you said for me to go buy these. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. All right. Charles says no. No. Charles, I'm looking at all of these stocks. These are good stocks for swing trading. But just to answer that again, Charles, if the market is pulling down, I don't care how good these stocks look, I probably would not buy them. But there's going to be many of you who are going to go against what I just said and want to do your own thing anyway, and that's up to you. That's totally up to you. All right, they're there for you if you do like them. These are fundamentally sound stocks, and every one of them play options. So if you do go ahead, Fireblazer don't start. If you do go ahead and want to put these on because you like them long term, you can sell a covered call against them or buy a protective put. Now, normally I have prudent stocks here, not today, and I think that this is going to be the onset of a video that I'm going to do next week. How many of you are trading AI stocks type of 1? If you're not trading AI stocks type of 2. How many of you are trading AI stocks type of 1 if you're not trading AI stocks type of 2? All right, and for those of you who are typing a 1 in the room, I've come across 7 stocks right at or below the price of $5. These are low dollar AI stocks. The video that I will be doing, all right, the video that I will be doing is giving you some insight on some lower dollar AI stocks and why I like them. All right, I think that that's going to be the Monday video. I see a lot of people not, Fireblazer, stop spamming it. It seems like there's a lot of people who are not in the AI space, and you may not be comfortable with it yet, and you could be thinking that it's a fad. I honestly think, in my own humble opinion, that it is an industry that we're at the infancies on, that has now come to the forefront, that people are going to jump all over. So if you haven't jumped on the AI bandwagon or track yet, I'm going to give you 7 lower dollar, these are really lower dollar AI stocks to consider. I don't have the intelligence to trade artificially. Fireblazer, what did you need to stop drinking Cafe Bustelo. You need to stop drinking Cafe Bustelo. For everybody who typed a 2 in the room, Joey, put the link to the AI video. For those of you who are not trading AI stocks, take a look at that video. I did a video not too long ago on AI stocks on our YouTube channel. All right. And Joey, hopefully he's going to put the link up. Take a look at the video. All right. Salivating at your Monday revelation, says Siberia Visitor. I got a story puts together that talks about all 7 of those stocks. So I think that that's going to be the Monday video. Who would drink Cafe Bustelo? Where's my coffee cup? Everybody who's in VV Nation should drink Cafe Bustelo in their big VectorVest mug. You know, if you go to the VectorVest store and you type promo code Glenn23, GLENN 23, we give you 20% off. All right, where are the AI stocks in the VectorVest Unisearch? It's not in the Unisearch, Bernie, but you can find them in our overview. We're in Watchlist Viewer. If you go to the overview watch lists, we have AI hardware providers and we have AI stocks and ETFs. I don't know if the stocks that I'm looking at for Monday are in this list or not. They may be. Let's go sort this by price. They might just be. Let's go sort it by price again. They think that they may be. Not all of them, because I've got stocks lower than this. All right, I got stocks lower than this in my list. All right, so I'm going to even give you lower dollar stocks that are in our AI stocks and ETFs folder. Whoo! Do we have that watch list folder? Yes, you do, Mark. Yes, you do. If you're in the watch list viewer, go over to the overview watch lists, and here's our watch list for AI hardware and providers and AI stocks and ETFs. All right, so you're asking, and even if you're asking for a friend, Mark, which I know that's a bunch of, can't say that, but yes, it is in the watch list viewer for everybody in there. All right, Joey's got a link up there showing some of the products that you will find in the store. And again, if you use promo code Glenn23, we're already giving you 15% off. But if you use the promo code Glenn with 2 N's, GLENN 23, we'll give you another 5%. We'll give you 20% off of anything in the store. All right. The VV wine cooler is insulated and works great for coffee. I am using it right now with my Cafe Bustelo. There you go. I need somehow or another, Joel, we got to reach out to Cafe Bustelo. They got to hook a brother up. As much as I talk about Cafe Bustelo, they got to hook a brother up. All right, let's go back to my watch list viewer. And how many of you, and I like doing this every so often. All right, so I'm just telling you about these stocks. I'm going to do a video specifically on each one of these stocks, or a video on all 7 stocks on Monday. I think that's going to be the Monday video. Some of these stocks, though, you know why this stock is down so much? It was a 12-for-1 reverse split. That was a 12-for-1 reverse split. It was up like 1,000%, and then it got smoked again. Nonetheless, we're going to talk about. I do like with the reverse split, the stock, one of the few stocks in this list that's actually undervalued and good relative value. Again, I'm not going to talk much about it. Because it's going to be the Monday video. And then I'm going to point you to the ones out of here that I like more than the others. And for the purposes of looking at AI stocks, how about if you find a stock that's dirt cheap that can go up hundreds of thousands of %, then you can come back and thank your Uncle Glenn later. All right. Rig is getting smoked like sizzling bacon today. It is. It is. Mark says, I wrote the Cafe Bustelo 2 years ago. They are better at crickets than your soundboard. Did you write them for me, Mark? Did you write them for me? And if you did, man, I love you, man. I love you. If you did that for me, I'll give you the cheers. That's awesome. All right. So that list is like buying calls. Yeah, pretty much price-wise. Price-wise, it is, Fitz. If you look at the prices, the biggest price on here is $5.20. Bustelo versus good. Yes, I thought I copied you on it. Did you? I don't remember it. It was 2 years ago. How am I going to remember that, Mark? Sigh. How do you think I'm going to? I can't remember what stream I did last week, much less remember what you gave me 2 years ago. Sigh. All right. With that, how many of you have a listing of stocks, your own hit list of stocks that you keep your eyes on? Type of 1 in the room. How many of you have compiled a watch list of stocks from, just in general that you keep your eyes on? Type of 1 in the room. If you don't do that, type of 2. If you don't do that, type of 2. And if you don't do that, I'm going to invite everybody in here to utilize the VectorVest system to build a watch list of stocks from that you hear about, that somebody tells you about, that whole 9 yards. I've got mine. Here it is, the market hit list. I want you guys to start doing this every day. If you are a VectorVest subscriber, I try to do this every day when the market first opens. I got 87 stocks in here. Before the market, or just as the market busts open, I sort by percent price change. This is just a tidbit right here. I sort by percentage price change, and then I can start to see out of my list of stocks. And a lot of these, I may forget that I even put them in there. They caught my attention, but I forgot why they even caught my attention. I think this is a great way to be a little bit more aggressive on stocks. If you see them early in the morning start to move, to start thinking about getting in. These are more short-term trades. All right. Stephanie says, Boyle, time to jump on? Nope. I wouldn't think so just quite yet. But before I say that, let me put this on a 1-month graph. Nope. That's just today. And look at this, Stephanie. Look at the give back. Look at the give back today. Stock went up as high as $5.22. Right now it's trading at $4.84. The only way I'm thinking about trading Boyle, Stephanie, is when I see the 3 go above the 8. Does that make sense? Any graphite stocks? I don't know. I got to find graphite stocks to see if I got any. I got to find out what they are. And once I can find out what they are, Maria, I can see if I got them. All right. So Boyle is up today. And even if it was, and I jumped on board, I would know that it is strictly a day trade. But I want you guys to get into the habit, as you've built your watch list, your hit list, look at them every day. Look at the VectorVest system. Oh, DSX, it's up today. It's a buy. I like that. How about Sigma Lithium? It's a buy. Oh, I like that. Mama Mancini's MMMB. It's a buy. I like the idea of building a watch list, or what I like to call a hit list. utilizing the VectorVest system to help you determine which ones you would want to get into. Another reason why I say no, Stephanie, on Boyle, what's the RT? The stock is at the bottom of the bucket. It's at the bottom of the bucket. So, Stephanie, nope, I wouldn't jump on it. Today it's being moved by something, not enough to make me jump on board. All right. I didn't do any retirement stuff today. I wanted to concentrate more on what the minutes were. Let's go back to the graphs. What's the market doing? Closed bar, which means the price right now is lower than the high where it opened up. Sorry, lower than the open. And now we got red. We're still holding that level of support though. Even with the market pulling back, we've got a level of support on the VectorVest composite sitting at 57.16. If we fall below that, the next level of support is sitting at $54.91. All right, that's all I got today. Now I put my hat back on. That's a lot of stuff. We covered a lot of what the minutes were for today, how the market reacted to it. I still think that the market's got a lot more downside than it has upside. As the markets move up in the current market conditions, I am still a believer that is irrational exuberance. There's nothing that's changed. Will the Fed pause once it gets to that 5% next month? I don't think so. I think the Fed's going to have to raise, mark my words. Now, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But inflation is still not at that 2%. And they're very, very adamant about getting inflation to 2%. The only way they're going to be able to do that is they have to keep raising interest rates to effectively go after inflation, and the job market is not helping them in any way, shape, form, or fashion. All right, so listen, folks, you're going to do what you're going to do, and I respect that. My job is just to keep you informed. My job, it looks like today, man, you guys left in droves. Good Lord, we only got 157 people left. You guys left in droves. Was I that boring today? Good gravy. It's all right, though. I'm still going to be me, and I'm still going to keep you informed. That's my job. All right, whether you like what I say or don't, it's all right. My job as an instructor here at VectorVest is to keep you guys on the right side of the market. All right, that's all I got to do. How many likes did we get? 79. You know I want to get 100 likes before we leave. All right, if you can, if it was worth it for you to stay here today, at least spend some time with me and get some useful information, hit the like button. If you're brand new to the channel and you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, hit the subscribe button. Fireblazer, Joey did not let me know if we're giving away a mug today. He saw you type it in here. I'm not ready, probably not ready to give out a mug today. All right, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so that you'll be alerted to all of the new content as it comes up. All right, Sonny says, we still love you. I love you all too. I thank you, every one of you, for supporting the VectorVest channel. Albert says, starting to hear some, maybe inflation should be 3 or 4% target. You know something? That could be more realistic, Albert. That could be more realistic than 2%. But he'll let you know that when the time comes as well. I still think that the target rate, the terminal rate, is going to be higher than 5%. I think the next thing he's going to say, well, I think we got to raise it to 6 in order to get inflation to 2. All right, with that all being done, I got to go. Adios, arrivederci, ciao, au revoir, sayonara, aloha to all my peeps in Hawaii. Okay? Bon dia, salam, shalom, namaste, yasu. Until the next time, folks, see ya.